How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to Junior and the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. Our viewers on YouTube, our viewers on Facebook, thank you for joining us. A little bit of a different time slot tonight, but nonetheless, we're here. What's up, Big Dog?
They're doing good, doing good. Condolences. I saw the chat before we started. Condolences to Anthony, who lost his grandfather. I don't know, Anthony, if you had mentioned it or not, if it was COVID related or not, but regardless, obviously, so sorry for your loss and prayers for your family.
Absolutely.
And for you. And
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, God bless. Gallo Negro's on here with us. John Shields. Let's see. Eddie the Cane, Sigmund. What do you guys say? Good evening, Chug Mobile. What do you say, Chug? Taz is with us. Bergie. All you guys, thank you so much for being with us on this Wednesday evening. Little bit of a later start. There's Orange and Green Blood. Cohen.
Yo, Cohen.
It's all about the U, Cohen.
Yes, sir.
Ben Pratt's also with us. Good evening, everybody. 400 Canes. As always, please hit the like button. It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm.
What's up, Tim, man? I haven't seen you in a minute, Tim. How's it going, man?
What do you say, Tim? Oh, it's been a while. If you're new to us, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and press all. Obviously, we want everybody to hit the like button. Also, comment, share, retweet, do all that good stuff. It really helps us out. And I will, what we were just talking about, I have to catch up on the comments again. And I will catch up on all of them about a weekend. And we also, Junior did the research on, we got the De'Ara King video breakdown getting ready to drop here. When we film it, we've done all the research on it and have all the film clips that we're going to use. And Tony Kidd,
we'll do that this week.
Yeah, we'll do that this week and have it out for you guys. Lozo, Baby Shaq. Who am I missing? Oh, Betu Perry. What do you say, Betu Perry? All you guys, thank you so much for being here. Always great to be on. The other Anthony, because we have a couple of different Anthonys.
I bet.
Austin Kane's also on here. Aiden, Chris. Man, love having all of you on here, man. It's Junior and I talk about it. We always look forward, even with all this stuff, even before all this stuff happened. Now we really look forward to it because other than the routine stuff, there's nothing else going on in the world.
No.
But we look forward to hanging with you guys every week, and it's something that we really enjoy doing. And thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, Bergie. Hey, Bergie, man. Nothing wrong with that, my brother. We're not one of those. If you want to post an article or you want to post a video or so, what I mean.
Absolutely, Bergie. The only rule that we have is respect each other. Even disagreements are cool, and I think that's awesome. And that conversation, I love that. But within respect, we don't like, when it gets out of hand, that's something that we don't like. But other than that, yeah, you can post whatever you want.
And what the heck is all this on?
Janelle Shoemaker.
What is
I think. Oh, she said it is her first time here. Oh, she's from
yo.
Minnesota. Welcome, Janelle. Welcome to join. Thank you for joining us all the way from Minnesota.
All right.
That's awesome. Nathan, also CJ Canes, Cavs Dolphins. Captain Trips, what do you guys say? I love having you on here, and we have a couple of new members of the Junior and the Big Dog family.
Slacking. I'm not even putting anybody's comments on here. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
No, I'm slacking over here because I'm reading everybody's comments. And
you got
Taz.
You're the director, the technical director, the host, the graphics director. So you got all that stuff. I'm just a pretty face. That's all.
Yeah, you're the good looking one.
Yeah, used to could.
Yeah, right. What's going on, everybody? Hey, yeah, Bergie, man. If you guys want to, I actually like it when you guys are interacting with each other in the chat, man. Like Big Dog said, only rule we have here on Junior the Big Dog, man, is just respect each other. We're all about love and positivity. On this channel, man, me and the Big Dog never really curse and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not saying you guys can't curse in the chat. I'm just, don't feel bad if I don't put, any profanity on the screen. So we try to keep it clean, man, because we know we have, your audience could vary and whatever.
Yeah,
man.
we have some kids on here too. And
it is what it is, man. But if you guys want to post an article, if you guys want to post whatever it is you guys want to contribute, man, to the channel, to the chat, to the live. I mean, hey, by all means, man. Truthfully speaking, me and the Big Dog would not have a show if it wasn't for you guys. Yeah. So you guys have every right to direct this any way you see fit sometimes as well, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and say hello also Thomas Miles and Mr. HD.
Going on, Thomas.
Yeah, guys. I mean, the disagreements and stuff we love, and there's nothing wrong. Even if they get heated, just make sure they keep them respectful. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. But yeah, we love having you guys on here. Pretty eventful week. He says, click the link that he posted.
And I actually missed
heard about the NCAA wants to do, but I thought it was something to talk about.
Thank you,
Bergie.
Can we post? I didn't see it, man.
Bergie, I didn't see it either. I didn't see it either.
Or if maybe you could just just quick summary, man, of what exactly what
was said,
what it's about, because we can't really look at an article right now.
Bergie wants to call in. We'll do Bergie is one of the call-ins, so we could talk about that.
Sounds good, yeah, because it's gonna be a call-in show, man. We know a guy Onedo's been he's been wanting to hop on, man, and I kind of said that he was gonna hop on last time. I think Slim Shady as well. We didn't get to it, so we said we were gonna do a call-in show this week. And so sure enough, man, we'll see how the show goes. We'll cover some topics, talk with you guys in the chat, and if it's running smoothly and nobody wants to call in, then it is what it is, man. But if anybody does want to call in, to get their 5 minutes on here, just let us know. We usually wait until we get half an hour into the show, maybe a little bit more. Just so we could address the chat, man, because we also don't like just doing call-ins and then the chat feeling left out. So we like to, address both things. What up, Ro?
What do you say, Ro?
So yeah, man.
A couple of things to talk about. I'm gonna butcher his name. Shamar Mims. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Decommitted. The thing with Mims is this. He's in fact, he's actually from my old. What do you say, Rigor Mortis? Thank you so much. Harder hitter, Perriman or Quarterman? I'd take Perriman.
Perriman.
Yeah, Rigor. I take Perriman in that one.
Thank you, Rigor, for the donation.
Thank you for the donation, Rigor. The thing with Mims is this. This is really important, and I'm glad that somebody had brought it up on the chat. We talk about sometimes, and it's funny because it leads into the very good news, because we got a piece of very good news since we were on with you last, which is Isaiah Walker committed to Miami.
Yep.
And this is exactly, and actually both things I think are similar in the aspect of what's going on with these kids. Is sometimes it's the kids, so sometimes they get ideas in their head. Sometimes it's all the people talking in their ear. All the supposed cousins and guys they grew up with, and all these guys talking in their ear that they all know football. But mind you, they're not in the same place as the kids are, but they want to tell the kids what's going on. Mm-hmm. The thing would happen with Matire is this: if he stays as an edge rusher, outside linebacker, I think he's a monster take. I think he could be a very good player. Well, apparently he's decided he wants to be a tight end and nothing else. He says in high school, he's still going to play some both ways, and he's comfortable on defense. But in college, he has to pick a position, and he's picking tight end. Now, he's 6'5", about 220. The thing is, as a tight end, he's not special. Different skill set. The skill set you want to see on defense and the skill set that you want at tight end. He even said a tight end or a big wide receiver. Okay, now he's competing with guys whose agility level, whose ability to contort their bodies, who's running patterns, hands, all these things of kids that have been playing receiver and tight end for years. So now, as an outside edge rusher, he was a top tier talent. I know they had him as a 4-star, and now I think he's bumped down to a 3-star. But I had him as an edge rusher. He's a high 4-star. as far as I'm concerned, or a solid 4-star. I'm not going to say high, a solid 4-star. Mind you, he used to go, he's now with Miami Central, but he used to be in my old stopping grounds in North Miami. Losing him is not a real biggie. We picked up Arroyo, the tight end from Texas. We have Khalil Brantley, who we've had for all this time. So we already have 2 tight ends in this class. We're not going to take a third. And if Matire is decided of playing tight end, yeah, exactly, HGS. As a tight end, he's developmental, but as an edge rusher, he's a stud. Mm-hmm. But somebody is in his ear and is telling him to play tight end. Or, hey, listen, maybe it's not somebody is in his ear. Maybe it's the kid himself because he wants to play offense. He wants to score touchdowns. I don't know. All I'm going on is by what the young man has been saying, and the young man has been saying he no longer wants to play defense. Yeah. He wants to be a tight end at the college level. So that's not too much of a loss. Now with Isaiah Walker, again, we're talking about either the young man or people in his ear. We thought he was going to be, well, first he was committed to South Carolina. Then we thought he was going to be a Cane, had a great relationship with Butch Barry, and then he decides to be a Gator. Well, now before basically any football is played, he gets out of Florida and he commits to Miami. Now, we don't know if he's even available to play in 2020. I'm sure if he applies for a waiver, because of the fact that he transferred, if he applies for a waiver because of the pandemic, I think they'll probably give it to him. So I think he'll probably be able to play. I don't know what he's talked with the coaching staffs, and with Garen Justice about playing as a true freshman. Maybe the plan all along was for him basically to redshirt this year and then not play. If that's the case, okay. If he does apply for a waiver, man, he's going to compete for time on the field already because he is a young man who has an enormous amount of potential. Now, my biggest concern is, you guys know it that have been with the show for a long time, is I'm always very leery of kids that have a lot of drama around their recruiting, because a lot of times those kids underperform relative to their talent. And Isaiah has sort of had this situation. So we'll see. Hopefully, the young man has tremendous talent. I mean, he's almost tremendously athletic for a tackle, great feet, long arms, not as long as maybe the ideal tackle, but he has so much athleticism that he makes up for it. I mean, Isaiah is a real stud. Listen, we've been critical of Manny left and right when he's deserved it. What he has done with the 2020 recruiting class, especially when you throw in what he has done in the transfer market. Because with transfers, we got the number 1 offensive player in De'Aaron King, the number 1 defensive player in Quincy Roche, and the number 1 special teams player in Borregales. That's basically the truth. Mm-hmm. Off a 6 and 7 season. So the fact that we now got Walker, do you want a better tackle haul from Florida than Jalen Rivers and Isaiah Walker? That was our dream. Because you remember, Junior, when we talked about the 2020 class, what did we say our dream class would be? Could you imagine if we got Walker and Jalen Rivers? Yeah. Well, now we ended up with Walker and Jalen Rivers. That's pretty amazing, man. That's pretty amazing. And you have to hand it to Manny. You have to, because 6 and 7 doesn't warrant that recruiting class. We got some serious dogs, and we kept them together. Hats off again. I always mention this to David Cooney. David Cooney deserves a ton of credit.
Yeah, okay. But you know what, too, Big Dog? I think just to let you know, we're gonna open up the lines at 8. So like in about 15 minutes, man. And Gallo Negro, I want you to be the first one to call in, man, because I know you're chomping at the bit, like you said, and you've been dying to talk to us. But
and we are going to talk about Tua's brother too. We are going to touch on that. I know a lot of people have been asking about that.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said, 247. To a certain extent. But
especially with his brother being with the Dolphins, the media is going to love that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But listen, man, I think the players in this class deserve some credit too. for some
absolutely.
for some of the halls, man. Because I think
Absolutely.
the communication has been on point, man. There's a sense of brotherhood, a sense of togetherness from this 2020 recruiting class.
And they want to be the class that establishes the culture. Where everybody points back to 2020 and goes, "Oh wow, that class really changed things." That's what they want to be, right?
And then I think Isaiah Walker, he tweeted something along the lines of I'm pretty sure it was him saying that it was Corey Flagg. I think it was Corey Flagg said something along the lines of that the U is back. Trust me, something along the lines of, you guys don't know what's coming. Trust me, we're back. We're building. He says something, and you see that sentiment from a lot of other players in this recruiting class, and you get the same vibe, and you get the same energy from a lot of these players, man. And that's something that we haven't seen in recent recruiting classes. Yeah, we've had talent. We've always had talent coming in from recruiting classes, man. But was it Walker? So it was Walker, Eddie. Okay. I don't know why. I know Corey Flagg either added something, or I'm not sure. But yeah, like I was saying, that goes to show you the energy. And like Big Dog said, these kids want to be the ones that turn this thing around. Yep. And listen, I mean, this is the reason why I also say that we don't necessarily quit on coaches just in 1 year. I wanted to see Manny get his recruiting class in, get his transfers in.
Joseph with the donation. Thank you so much, Joseph. He didn't say anything, just a donation. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it, man. This is the reason why I don't like quitting on. Right. So it was. I figured it was Walker that tweeted that. This is the reason why I don't like quitting on coaches after year one. Frankly, we had all the right to be upset with Manny and his decision making, his
team maintenance.
Team maintenance, his lack of accountability when it comes to taking blame for things, and his mismanagement of personnel, his mismanagement of players. There's a lot of things you could point to when it comes to Manny's first year as head coach, but
lack of discipline.
But it was his first year, and I'm not just saying this because he did, pull together a good class, and of what he did once again in the transfer portal. I'm not just saying it because I'm not trying to use this as a scapegoat. All is forgiven, Manny. You still got to show us, that you're going to learn from these mistakes, and you still have to show us that, from the top down, things are going to be different. Because if leadership has to come from the head coach. Yes, players need to be held accountable as well, and these players need to hold each other accountable as fellow team members. But it starts with the head honcho, with Manny Diaz. So we're not out of the woods yet. Hopefully he's going to learn from his mistakes. So hopefully he's going to grow. Hopefully some of the mistakes that he made, there were just growing pains. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot ignore the fact that he put together a really good recruiting class. He put together U-type guys. Yep. All right. He didn't necessarily blow you away with the number one class in the country, or with the number two, or the number three. Although a case can be made that when you add the transfers that we got, pretty high up there when it comes to the class that we brought in. So
again,
once again, he did it. Exactly. So, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think there's a lot of things to be excited about. The next thing that we got to be excited, hopefully we're going to be excited about, is some kind of announcement to see. Bergie, I don't know if maybe that was something that you were trying to send about, something that the NCAA is trying to do in terms of resuming sports. I know they're talking about, maybe doing things regionally, no out-of-conference games. A lot of ideas have been floated around, but nothing has been concrete yet. We'll see. We don't know if there's going to be a season, because we're hearing that maybe the season will start in the spring. And, there's been a lot of things thrown out there. So, frankly, it's really hard. We had another donation from Jason Arnold, man. Thank you so much for your donation.
I love that comment.
He said, "What's going on doing the Big Dog? I'll take the trade of Lingard for Williams and Washington."
Yes.
I saw somebody
stick that knife in, Jason, and twist it on those Gators, baby.
I saw somebody on Twitter because we posted. I forgot who was. I always forget who
we
posted.
won in that trade.
No, I know we absolutely did. Like, oh, we took Williams and Washington, and I think a Gator responded back with like, oh, that they took Lingard from us. I'm just like, come on.
Okay, we'll do that trade.
All right, cool.
Give us Walker and Amante, and you guys have Lingard.
All day and twice on Sunday. Yeah, Bergie, absolutely. You could call in, man. Now, 8 o'clock, I'm gonna go ahead and open up. I would like Gallo Negro to be the first one to call in, man. If you could just, if Gallo Negro, if you're in here, man, let me know which one. You don't gotta write your home phone number, but give me at least
the prefix, the first three.
Yeah, the first, not the area code, the first three. So I know which one you are, man. So you could be the first one to go ahead and get on here. And Bergie, I would like for you to call in, man, so you could talk about that article.
Absolutely. And I saw Anthony had a question too. He said about if the NCAA somehow or another does not have a season, this football season. The thing is, I'll tell you something, guys. If NCAA football is not played, wow, you're going to see a lot of college programs starting to cut sports, starting to cut, swimming and soccer and remember they still have Title IX that they have to abide by, so they have to cut, they're going to have to cut some men's sports because football and basketball pay the way. And to not have a football season at all, so not only would they lose the ticket sales, they would lose the money from the TV contract also. Yeah, wow, that would be a huge whammy to college athletic programs. Obviously, it's going to be the same as always. The richer schools survive it. The poorer schools are the ones that struggle. University of Cincinnati already cut men's soccer. Or at least they suspended men's soccer. And I think a lot of other programs have done similar things. Man, I don't know. If in terms of players declaring for a supplemental draft, they can't do that, not because of the NCAA, Anthony, but because the NFL, the rule that they have is you have to be your class. It's by your class, not what you do personally. Right. Okay, now, unless you have a degree, if you get a degree really, really early, then that you could probably get an exemption for that. But it has to be 3 years of college. So even those players that are going to be juniors, it doesn't, or redshirt sophomores, it doesn't matter because their class wouldn't have graduated. That 3 year wouldn't be up until next year, anyways.
Right.
So, and now you might see some seniors trying to declare for the supplemental. I doubt it. Because a lot of them probably won't be picked,
right?
Unless it's somebody obviously like one of the top tier talents. But I don't see anybody doing that. I don't see any senior that didn't come out already coming out now if they don't have a season. But it's definitely. I mean, if that's
what do you do if you're what do you do if you're Justin Fields or you're Trevor Lawrence?
You would have to wait till next year anyways. Because that's the NFL. The NFL is the one that has that rule.
Yeah, but the fact, no, I understand.
They won't draft you until your third year, until your class's third year.
I get that, but the NFL can't, since the season will be canceled. These kids,
the NFL season canceled too.
No. Oh, I'm saying
the college season is canceled, but the NFL is going to play.
But the NFL, right?
Okay,
something along those lines, and these kids can't necessarily. The season's canceled. These kids are still going to school and are still earning their degree.
Right.
That still counts. That I think that'll still count as
a year played. Yes.
As a year played. So that's my point. At that point, what do you do if you're somebody like Trevor Lawrence?
You come out.
You come out, right?
You come out. The best way to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL is by being in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, as simple as that. You look at a guy, you don't.
But if you're Rousseau.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Rousseau could do it as well.
Rousseau would do it as well. So but he would have to do that in April of next year, not anything with a supplemental draft.
Oh no, right. No, yeah.
Right. He couldn't do it before. But let's see. I mean, I have heard some things. People said, if what happens if they hold like a regional schedule, like no non-conference games and just play your conference games. I've heard a lot of different things, man.
Just play football with no fans, man.
The problem is, guys, I want you to realize this, and I think we all have to realize this. March 8th if I would have said to you guys, hey guys, the NBA is going to be canceled. Oh my God, Chuck Mobeer again with a big donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Mobeer.
Never fails, man. He says, hello, Junior the Big Dog. Hope all is good, Junior. You better use this time to practice on your dominoes games. So when we finally get to play, I don't want any crying. LOL. Let's go, Kane. You already know a guy. That guy named him.
Chuck Mobeer.
You already know Chuck Mobeer, man.
Thank you, Chuck, as always, man. So generous.
I haven't played dominoes in a minute, pero tú sabes como eso. That never goes away.
It's because the old man's not down there. Because when the old man's down there, we definitely throw down on the dominoes.
We've been trying to find.
When I'm down there next time, we're doing some dominoes apps on the phone. But Chuck Mobeer, next time I'm down there, man, we gotta definitely play.
Yeah,
we gotta definitely play. That would be such a blast. Thank you so much, Chuck.
But me and you, we can't be la pareja, dude.
I mean, they don't have any chance then.
That's not. We
play up to 200, so we'll give them 100 points.
Okay, we'll spot them 100.
We'll spot them 100. There you go.
That way, it wouldn't be a pollona every single time.
And I'm going to put Chug. Chug has to beat on my right. And I'll get him. I'll get him.
Why you gotta do him like that? He just gave us a $25 donation, man.
That's true. That's true.
You can't put him on your right.
All right, you can be on my left then, Chug. All right. For you guys that don't know about dominoes, being on my right means he would play under me basically, so that I could pass him and make him knock. So I put a little pad there for them when they're under me. So, anyways, but thank you again so much, Chug. But the thing is, with I don't know is. But because and here's the point I was making with that. If I would have said to you guys March 8th, listen, the NBA season is going to be canceled. Major League Baseball is going to be canceled. Everything's going to be canceled. The world entirely is going to shut down. There'll be no sports leagues playing. You guys would have had me locked up in an insane asylum. And that was only a week before it happened. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because none of us expected this. And if you did expect it somehow, then you know
what are the numbers of the lottery?
Yeah, exactly. Because none of us expected that. So now we sit in the middle of May. Guys, we have no idea. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, because you know, you hear about things and then you read such and such a country's opening up and things are going good. Then this other country's opened up and things are not going good. Then some countries opened up and they had to shut it down again. And then you hear like things like some of the states that we're in that kept it more open, they have really good numbers. And as of right now, the state that you could say has shut it down the most, yes, I mean, came hand in hand, but their numbers, like New York, have the worst numbers. So I have absolutely no idea what June 1st looks like.
Well,
much less what September 1st is going to look like.
Yeah, they've eased restrictions down here in Florida, man, and they're going to ease more restrictions in the tri-counties next week. And we've had, I think I saw today, since the rest of Florida, basically, the restriction got eased up a little bit, as well as some of South Florida, because I know some parks were open and whatnot. There's been a spike in cases. So
that's
I mean, we'll see how it's gonna look like when they start to reopen even more.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, another dono from Jason, man.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. He
feels for Roche and King. If there is no yeah, man, that's the thing about these seniors, man, because you keep on and I see it all the time, like on Facebook or on Twitter. There are so many kids, man, like even high school kids. You know, like my one of my nephews, for example, he's a senior in high school, man. He's not gonna have
no prom, no real graduation.
I mean, it's sad, man. It's really sad when you come to think about it, man. And especially when you got these kids that, you know, got their last shot, because King especially.
Yeah, both King and Roche were looking to play their draft value up.
Right. Yeah, and Roche, you can make a case that his draft value is a little higher than King's right now, because King is, yes, he had a great 2018 season,
but he had the injury.
But he had the injury, and then 2019,
The incomplete season, he played a couple of games.
He played a couple of games. Right. He was playing poorly, so it wasn't a good look. So what King looking forward to? Man, I gotta blow it up my senior year, and I gotta let these scouts know, what I can really do. So,
guys, I'm gonna tell you something. The film breakdown of the video that we're gonna drop on the era King. When you guys see the video, if you haven't seen tape of King yet, you guys, you're gonna start drooling over. That young man has talent galore, and not just as a runner, okay, as a thrower of the football, that young man can be special.
That's 100%.
So when you guys see that video breakdown, because I watched tape on him now quite a bit. In fact, I watched tape on him today quite a bit, so some more, and getting ready for us to tape that the video breakdown. That young man, yeah, I wish he was 6'3". I wish he was 6'3", but between you and me, if he was 6'3", he'd be drafted this past season, and he wouldn't have been going to Miami. Okay, maybe because of the injury, maybe that would have hurt his draft stock anyways. But he is short. He's probably a real 5'11". But man, his skills as a runner are that of a running back, not even of a good running quarterback. He has running back type of skills.
Yes, he does.
And then his skills as a thrower are way underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Way underrated. He's a much better thrower of the football than people think.
Mm-hmm.
Tremendous touch at times, and he throws well on the run, but he also throws really well from the pocket. And if you look at his tape, he likes to stay. He likes to get rid of it from the pocket.
Yeah, 247. Hey, we can't jinx him like Jaron, though.
Jaron jinxed himself, though. Jaron's the one that jinxed himself. He has to stay off the what is the ATF? Alcohol and tobacco. But
in our defense, all right, we did not. It's hard.
Everybody saw the talent.
That's what I was going to say.
Everybody saw the talent.
To predict character flaws. It's hard to predict what these kids do when they're not playing. It's hard to predict that, man. So. But you guys saw the stretch that everybody was like, "Oh my God, Miami finally found their quarterback." So you guys finally got to see what me and Big Dog were praising.
Third or fourth?
It is what it is, man. He's not a Hurricane no more.
I think it's either his fourth or his fifth start. He broke the record as a redshirt freshman, broke the record for touchdowns at Miami.
The one with Louisville, and not just that.
I think that was his fifth start.
Right.
So the talent was there, but unfortunately,
that icky sticky is what did him in. So
yeah, I heard that too. I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
Since it's still the recreational is still illegal in Florida, I didn't want to say that throw him under the bus like that. Yeah, but I do think it was the icky wicky that was the problem. But from what I understood, also alcohol sort of might have had a little problem with him too.
You saw where Enos ended up?
Enos?
Yeah.
No.
Cincinnati.
Oh, you're close to me. Oh, that's good. I can pay him a visit.
I think he's an assistant head coach and running backs coach.
There you go. At a group of five. At a group of five school. That shows you how bad of a job everybody
I got you, guys.
That he went from OC and offensive OC and quarterback coach at top tier group of five at Power 5 schools with Alabama and in Miami. And now as a running back coach at a group of five school. So that gives you an idea how bad he did.
Right.
Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lines. And
why did you take off your headset?
Because I'm about to open up the lines.
Oh, okay.
So then I gotta put my speaker on the thing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a guy. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone line. Right. Hold on. Where is it? Now.
Anthony, I thought I answered that question before. The question that you had about guys declaring eligible for the draft.
You said 261, right, Gallo Negro? Because I keep on seeing a different number trying to call in. I'm not sure who it is though.
261. I thought it was different.
Oh, you see, why did I say I got a missed call? Now I saw you, but try calling again, Gallo Negro. Okay, why do I keep on seeing?
He said Ena's a top tier mid, yeah. And he said Jaron might be going to Western Kentucky. No. He was originally going to go to Kentucky. So
man, I got do not disturb on.
I actually thought it was. I thought he was actually going to end up in Georgia, not at Georgia, but like a Georgia
it's
Tech.
Open now. It's open now, baby. I got you.
You had it messed up. You had to do not disturb.
Yeah, I did. What's going on?
Family.
There we go.
How's it going, man?
I'm good. Life's good, healthy, happy. Big dog, how you doing, sir?
What do you say, Gallo Negro? Thank you for joining us.
Of course, good to hear your voice. You too, Junior. The trusty and reliable sidekick. Hopefully everything's good with y'all's, friends and family and what have you. Y'all want to get into it?
Yeah, hold on, man. Before we go, before you get your
Tony, thank you so much.
Your victory lap, let me address this donor very quick, man. From Tony Clad. Tony, man, I've never seen you in the chat, man. But thank you so much for your contribution. He says you guys are awesome. I know this isn't football related, but the spike in cases are due to wearing masks and not being in the sun. These measures are weakening the immune system, man. Yeah,
Tony, I 100% agree with you. One of the things that my wife and I were talking about yesterday, in fact, was that I'm really worried about other diseases now, because the thing is, when you lock yourself up like that and you wash your hands constantly and you're sterilizing everything, we need some of those microbes that is part of what builds up our immunity system.
Yeah.
Gallo Negro, I don't want to take up your time, man, but I just want to say this one thing real quick. My mother told me a story. She had a neighbor in Cuba that had a little boy. She was one of these mothers that tried to have a baby for the longest time. She finally has this little boy, and it was like she had him in bubble wrap, and he was always sick. The little boy had asthma. He'd always get colds. He'd always get flus, and he went to see the doctor. He was like 4 years old, and the doctor starts writing a prescription, and it was for anti-anxiety medication. And he gives the mother the anti-anxiety prescription. He goes, no, that's for you. You want to fix him, let him go play in the puddle outside. Stop trying to baby him. And we're doing that to, now mind you, I know this coronavirus is no joke, but Tony, what you said.
Big dog. Let me add something onto that real quick.
Go ahead, buddy.
I don't know if we can, give shout outs to other podcasts or whatever, but I listen.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I think you guys should check him out tomorrow. He's having a specialist on exactly what you're talking about. She's an immune specialist. And as a matter of fact, if the fans and the listeners will listen to his last podcast, he had a comedian on who caught coronavirus in New York. I don't want to take up too much time.
No, go ahead.
Said, don't put him on the ventilator, and it saved his life because the ventilator would have provided the support for his lungs, and his lungs would have shut down. And so his body would have stopped working on it, and he would have died. So it's a conflicting report. This corona thing, it's terrible, but you're right. The immune system is a big, important part, and I hope that you guys who are listening check out that Joe Rogan podcast tomorrow with that specialist on.
Oh, I'm definitely
gonna help the country to get.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. Me and the big dog are huge fans of Joe Rogan and the podcast. Absolutely.
Yeah, we love. To me, that's the best podcast on all of YouTube. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but it is by.
He's the king. He's the king. No doubt. No, and Tony, but thank you so much for the donation, Tony. And you're right. And being in the sun, that's the one thing I don't understand. You're trying to keep people away from beaches and parks. And they said that this virus lasts like less than a minute in the sun with direct sunlight. This virus is done. Means I sneeze, and let's say I'm infected. I sneeze, and in less than 30 seconds, that the virus that I expelled is dead. Is gone.
Yeah.
And so why are you keeping people away from the sun?
Hey, listen.
But thank you, Tony, so much for the donation too.
Yeah, thanks, Tony, man. So Gallo Negro, man, the floor is yours, my brother. Let's get
All right. Number one. This is real quick off the subject. I can't wait to see DJ Dallas run next year. I think that boy got something to prove. So on the corona thing in the NFL is going to push to play without fans. They can afford it. College cannot. But unfortunately, at this point, Janelle Shoemake, that is the most important person in my life, and I converted her to a hurricane. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. We bleed orange and green. You know what I mean?
That's how you do it, man.
I told her the key to my heart is you gotta be ingrained as a hurricane. So
there you go.
But she has an important person in her life, and it really opened my eyes to this pandemic that's out here. And I think the safest things for students in student athletes is to not play this year. Unfortunately, I'm a diehard Kane fan. Yeah. I don't think that it's going to be right to a vaccine. That's just my opinion. Safety first for the kids, man. I know it sucks. I know we're athletes, or have been athletes in the past. That's just my opinion. But I think that we should not have students on campus and athletics on campus until they figure out what's going on. It's going to kill sports. But hey, you know what? Keep printing money. Do what you got to do. Throw something at the wall till it sticks. But safety first as far as kids. As professionals, NBA, NFL, MLB, they can rock with it. They're professionals.
Right.
As far as my victory lap, if you guys remember, the first time I called you, remember I said that there's going to be some executive decisions made about kids staying home instead of going across the country?
Hey, yeah. Hey, actually, when
you called it.
Isaiah Walker.
Yeah.
Yep.
On Saturday, all of a sudden, his name is the portal. And on the weekend, this past weekend, I'm coming home. Now, I can't say we know how the SEC plays. We're not going to get into that, security tag type thing.
Right.
If it was that, I don't know if it was the virus or his family. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm going to take my victory lap, man. I'm going to feel like that the way Manny has put together this recruiting class, the kids that he's accumulated, we've been dogging him about this O-line. And you talk about a plan come together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We got the kid from Stoneman Douglas, the project kid, who can turn into like an Eric Winston, like his frame. They got Cleveland Reed, who came back, who you push. That's the guys you put on the practice squad, and they have to earn their right to get back on, first string, two deep rotation. You got Seymour. You get Walker. You got Rodriguez. Now, we missed out on Dennis and the other guy who were left and went to LSU, Martinez, I think his name is.
Yeah.
It was some misses, but, hey, man, Justice is doing his thing. Rhett Lashley, look, he's offering quarterbacks who we never offer.
Yeah.
That Texas connection, that Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso. He's bleeding the orange and green down in the Southwest. That's what we need to build this team up. I'm excited about our team, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see it this year. So this is what I'm going to do. I know, Big Dog, that you don't like to move around too much. I know that.
True.
But let's see how this season plays out. And if De'Aaron King doesn't go to the NFL and he gets the start in Atlanta, I'd like us to be there. I'd like you to meet my girlfriend, who hopefully might be my wife at that time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Austin Canes, 247. Maybe we can get something to accommodate you, sir. I know your knees are bad.
Yeah.
And you can't move around until this vaccine's done. So I know it's asking a lot of you, but it's 2 years away. And, this pandemic kind of put a perspective on life that we ain't going to get many chances to see the Hurricanes and be all together and tailgate. And
that's true.
You get a once-in-a-lifetime type thing. So
preach, man.
I know it's a lot of ask of you, and it's a lot to think about and a lot to put together. Maybe, when we can get off the line sometimes, we can kind of communicate and see if we can, hey, man, you guys are my family.
Oh, thank you, Gallo Negro. Thank you.
Go ahead and hang up.
Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to promise you, Gallo Negro, that I will do my very best. I will do my very best to get there. I promise you that. I will do my very best to get there.
We get an RV or something, and let's we'll figure out something.
There you go.
Absolutely, man.
That's going to be prime time TV game. I don't think there's going to be a season this year, so Rousseau, he's probably going to go to the NFL. But De'Aaron King, like you said, he's got to prove himself.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's in that Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield matrix, right now. So he has to put himself on the map. And with Fields, I don't think Fields is going to stay. I don't think Lawrence is going to stay. So, he got a chance to be a top 5, maybe top 3 pick. So I think he'll try to get a waiver to stay. And, man, we'll all be there in September in Atlanta.
I love it.
And the mighty Crimson Tide.
I love it.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, I am ready. So I'm down on this season. But, I found the love of my life, fellas. And she has a very important person who in her life who can be affected by this virus.
Right.
So
I got you.
It's kind of like, man, you love your football, but what's more important? So
that's the thing.
We can get this out the way, and then next year we got a big game coming. I wanted to be there for MSU and drive through Ohio and meet you, sir. I don't think it's going to be
on the bag that was on the floor.
But next year, let's make it happen, gentlemen.
Absolutely, Gallo Negro.
All right.
You too, my brother.
Thank you, Gallo Negro. Thank you so much for the call, and I will promise you.
Yeah, talk to y'all next week or in 2 weeks or so.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
That was awesome, man.
Great call, Gallo Negro, and God bless that special someone that you have in your life. And by that time, you're gonna have. I think you're gonna have a wife probably. So and I will do my best. And God bless both of you as a couple, and God bless her family also. That that everything turns out okay.
Yeah, man, and just positive vibes, man, and everything you said, Gallo Negro. I mean, it hit on point. It hit on point, man. I mean,
the thing is, a lot of people need to realize, a lot of these college kids, man, the problem is you're not only asking them to play, you're asking them to play and to stay away from their parents sometimes, because a lot of these college kids have older parents.
Yeah.
Okay. Stay away from their grandparents.
I do think
if they play, they're not going to be able to go around their grandparents.
Yeah.
For 4 months.
Right.
Because that's what you're asking them. Because if they get infected, they might be fine. They're young athletes.
Yeah.
One thing that's shown, the coronavirus, young people that have mind you, there's exceptions to that rule. Because there's literally hundreds of people that are young and have no underlying conditions that have also died. But for the most part, 99.999% or 99.9% will say of young people, if you have no underlying conditions, you'll get this virus and you'll be fine. Some of them won't even have any symptoms.
Right.
But the problem is you're asking these young kids now, if they play and they're back on campus, they can't go around their grandparents for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can walk around asymptomatic and give it to grandpa, and grandpa has high blood pressure, and it ends up killing him.
Yeah.
So his point is pretty solid, man. It's understandable, because what you're asking of these young kids is not only to play and be in school, is to stay the hell away from their family members for 4 months who are susceptible to this.
Yep. And not just that, it sucks that, a lot of these kids, like, their family's not gonna be able to see them play. Like, I'm sure, they could see them play on TV, but it's not the same, man.
Not the same.
It really
and a lot of college, man, a lot of college is getting to score a touchdown.
Hey, Big Dog. Before we keep
go ahead. I'm sorry. Talk about Tim's donation. Thank you so much, Tim.
Hey, Tim, we were not ignoring you, man. We had a Gallo Negro hold off on Tony's donation, man. So we figured we let Gallo Negro finish, man, but we did not ignore your donation. Obviously, we put you on the screen, man. Thank you so much for your
Tim, you have supported us from our very first video.
And it's awesome seeing you in here, man. We haven't seen you in a minute.
I know.
You pop in here and you well, he said he's working at Publix, and obviously
that's understandable. That's understandable, Tim.
That's crazy, man. And
thank you for doing that, Tim, because people like you are the ones.
Taz is another one, man. Taz is another one. You know, at Publix, putting in the work, man. But so yeah, he says, what are your thoughts on Cleveland Reed going into the portal and coming back? And is he going to have an impact for our O-line?
There you go. Tim, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when we got Cleveland Reed in 2018 class, I was really, really high on Cleveland Reed. His run blocking is next level. He is a road grader of a offensive guard.
Before you
go ahead.
Go. I'm sorry, big dog. I currently have the lines closed, man. I'm gonna open them back up after we go after Big Dog finishes his point and we address Tim's question. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Anthony, I know you were trying to call in, and Bergie, I'm gonna go ahead and put the phone as well. Anthony, I'm gonna try to get to Bergie first because we basically promised Bergie since last week as well, and then I'll go ahead and get you after, Anthony. I saw your number. And Bergie, I got your number here, so I know which one to look out for, man. So go ahead, big dog. I'm sorry.
There you go. The thing with Cleveland Reed is from looking at him, and again, guys, I do have a source. Okay. So I can talk about this without adding the source. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna out the source, of course. Mm-hmm. No. But I can talk about the Cleveland Reed thing. Mm-hmm. I'm getting some feedback. Junior, is that on your end?
You probably getting some feedback because I got you. I don't have you through my headphone. I'll put you on.
Okay. I don't know if Cleveland Reed has been putting in the work, or last year I'm talking about. I'm not talking about this year when he came back now. I don't know if he was putting in the work in the weight room, because even though I loved his high school tape, there's some bad weight on Cleveland Reed. Okay, that's normal. Okay, an offensive lineman in high school, rarely are they, unless they weigh like Zion Nelson, who weighed 240 pounds and then had to gain all that weight and then, to play as a freshman. But unless they do that, they always have a little bit of bad weight. I don't know how hard Cleveland Reed was working last year. I know he was upset that he feels that the coaching staff was playing favorites, which is why they bumped up Ja'Kai Clark to starting right guard, and Cleveland Reed thought that if DJ Scaife kicked outside the tackle like he did, that he was going to be the right guard. And I don't feel that the coaching staff was fair with him, or at least I'll say this: he didn't feel that the coaching staff was fair with him. He felt like they were playing favorites. Now, knowing how the season dissolved, he might have had a point. He might have had a point that because Ja'Kai Clark played really well for a freshman. But as a run blocker, I will tell you, Cleveland Reed can be an elite level. But now he has to have a college body. So he needs to put in the work in cardio. He needs to put in the work in the weight room to get down to 300, 295, 6'3". He might be a real 6'4", though. I think, look up Cleveland Reed's height. I think he's really like 6'4". I think they might have him listed as 6'5", but I don't know if he's a real 6'5". But, oh, wow, we got a couple of donations to talk about. But that's the thing about Cleveland Reed. I do think that if he's dedicated and does the work in the weight room, he could end up being the run blocker that we feel Devon Donaldson was going to turn into. That's what Cleveland Reed can do.
Absolutely.
So I am big on Cleveland Reed. But go ahead, dude. Let's go to the donations.
Yeah. He's 6'4", by the way.
6'4", that's what I thought.
Yeah. Hurricane T2Y. He said, love y'all show. I wish my dad was passionate about the Hurricanes like yours. I'm guessing he's referring to me. Oh, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know why? I remember you. Thank you so much for your dono, man.
Thank you so much for the donation, partner. $24.90. Thank you so much for doing that.
But my man, you have to I have to find a way for you to send me Goku in a Miami Hurricanes jersey, my friend, because that's what it looks like to me. I think I see Goku with a Miami Hurricanes
You're
jersey
kidding.
on.
That's his avatar?
It looks like it. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely Goku with a Miami Hurricanes jersey on.
That was when he was a kid.
Dope.
Hurricane, when he was a kid, he'd have to that would be like my concession to him is when he was, and he was always a good kid. So he would put Dragon Ball Z on, and he had control of the TV for the time that Dragon Ball Z was on.
Yeah.
Because you loved that anime. That was before it was even popular. You were like the only person I knew that I don't know anybody else that even knew Dragon Ball Z back then.
It blew up later.
Yeah, anime became popular later.
Yeah. Hey, but thank you so much for the donation, man.
Thank you so much.
And I can't find many people that are as passionate as my old man when it comes to the Canes, man.
Yeah,
so
to me, it like I said, I'm a fan of all my local South Florida teams, but the Hurricanes are in a different category altogether because the Hurricanes literally regulate my mood for weeks at a time. You know, when we have a big win, man, even my knees don't hurt as much.
Wow.
And when we have a big loss, I'm bummed for a long time. So the Hurricanes are an obsession for me, and they have been for 50 years now. So it's but thank you so much.
Hey,
go ahead.
Tony once again, man, with another
Tony.
20 bomb, man. He says, "Big dog, I'm an owner, operator, and don't get to hear Junior and yourself live often." He says he's waiting to drop a load in all of places, New York. Wow.
Oh, wow.
So the two donations are to the channel. I appreciate all that you do to grow our knowledge, man. Wow, Tony, man.
Tony, thank you so much. And by the way, guys, that's another thing I want to touch upon. When people talk about the heroes, it's not just the healthcare workers.
Yeah, man.
It's people like Tony, people like the you mentioned who was it? We had a couple of people that work at Publix.
Yeah. Tim,
Taz.
Like
Tim and Taz works at
right.
You guys are just as big of heroes because at least at the hospital, and not taking anything away, healthcare workers, first responders, you guys are soldiers. I mean, you guys deserve the same love and respect that we give our soldiers. And because what you've done is amazing.
Stay protected, Tony, and be careful, man.
But the thing is, at least at the hospital, you know when they get there that they're sick. He has to. A lot of these people, like Tony, like Tim, like Taz, have to work with the general public, and they don't know who's sick and who isn't.
Yeah. And
you guys are our heroes, and you guys are the ones that are keeping us fed. And yeah, John, I know you were old school like me, but thank you guys. You guys are heroes. Thank you for all you do. And I'm so glad that you joined us, Tony. Thank you.
And I'm glad we're able to entertain you at least a little bit on your drive, Tony, man. So thank you so much, man.
That was my old man, Junior's grandfather. My old man was a truck driver, and he was a truck driver his whole life. Was a proud Teamster with Local 769, which I don't believe exists anymore. I think they merged with the other local. I don't know if they still call them 769, but
hey, a quick shout out, very quick, man, to Austin Canes. I believe he did tell us, and I believe we did address it, but just in case we did it, man, his dad got diagnosed with the virus, and he's had it for 3 weeks. Now he says that
he's doing good.
He's still in quarantine, but that he's doing better, man.
Good.
That's awesome to hear, Austin, man.
Austin, we'll be praying for him. We'll be praying for him, for his well-being.
100%, man. Prayers go out to your old man, and hopefully keeps on getting better, man. And he just puts this behind him, man. So that is great to hear, man, that he's doing better.
Please,
what up, Primo?
Keep letting us know, Austin, how he's doing. Hurricane with another donation, and what do you say, Carlo? And he said, Google cackle rat cager under image.
Wait, hold on, I don't see it. Hold on, big dog. I need you to say that name again.
I messed it up.
Yeah, I need you to say it again.
Cackle rat cager.
Cackle rat, man.
Cackle rat. Okay, yeah.
No, not cackle rat. Cackle rat.
Kakarot.
That is Goku's like real name. That's Kakarot is Goku.
Do you realize that other than that thing that they did,
just don't disrespect my boy Goku by saying Kakarot. Like, okay, no, it's not.
My apologies. My apologies. Okay.
Say it.
What is it?
Kakarot.
Kakarot.
No, okay. Man. Come on, man.
All right. That's the closest I get. Oh, John was telling me, John Shields, he was talking about he's seen he goes back to Ted Hendricks, George Myra days. You have a couple of years on me. Wow. I think you might be like probably 3 years older than me. Yeah. But yeah, I go back to like the 70s, like Chuck Foreman was the big BMOC, big man on campus, back to when Mike Cain's days.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna Google Kakarot Cage on the image for sure. I got you. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, okay, so I guess I had a Lawrence Cage jersey. You see,
Bergie, you and me both, man. The only reason I even know of Dragon Ball Z because when he was a kid, he was just nuts about it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that
was, I think, before anime was like blew up.
Hey, and trust me, I'm not dissing. Please don't take this the wrong way. Anybody out there that you're a grown man and you still watch anime, cool. But I'm not really into it no more. But I have some coworkers who are in a little younger than me, not too much younger than me. Actually, oh my gosh, yeah. No, wait a second. Yeah, they are much younger than me. Sometimes I forget I'm 30 freaking years old already.
Yeah, he turns 30 next month. Actually, not next month. Month after next.
Yeah. So, and I think
Junior turns 30.
I think they're like 22 or 23, and so it's crazy how I see and I hear younger kids talking about it, because I know there's like others Dragon Ball Super now, and so I haven't really seen it after all that. My thing was Dragon Ball Z. I got into like Dragon Ball GT a little bit. Obviously, the first just Dragon Ball, but I haven't seen any of the new stuff or whatnot.
I'm glad. I'm glad it just popped in my head. I remembered this. We offered a new quarterback for the 2021 class, guys. A guy named Bubba Chandler, 6'4", 195. Good thing with Bubba Chandler is he was actually going to play. He wants to play both ways, baseball and football.
Yo, I know, it's crazy.
And obviously, Miami would be a great place to do that. The young man is raw, but a lot of talent, big time arm, pretty accurate arm too. He's not like a plug and play ready quarterback who's going to compete as a freshman. He's a guy that's going to need some work to play at the college level, but he has all the tools. Bubba Chandler is his name. He's from Georgia, and he wants to play somewhere where he could play baseball and football. And Rhett Lashley told him he could do that at Miami, that they would let him play baseball and football. So that's a new quarterback offer. And he said that once everything is lifted and he can travel, that he will definitely visit Miami, and he wants a decision by the beginning of the school year. So,
yeah.
Bubba Chandler.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and open up.
Yeah, he is a project, 247. He's a project. Yeah, in fact, I don't expect him to really even compete for playing time for a couple of years. And dividing his time between baseball and football isn't going to help the fact that he's a project.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines, man, so Bergie can go ahead and get in here. Let me just find the number, because I don't think he knows the number. Where is it at? There it is, man.
Yeah, Bergie, go ahead and call in.
Go ahead and call in, and then we'll go ahead and take Anthony's call. So
do you want to know who? You want me to show you the age difference? Whenever I see Bergie's name, the first thing that pops in my mind was an old-time middle linebacker from the 70s named Bill Bergie, who was a really, really good player with the Bengals, with the Eagles.
Oh, Bill Bergie, are you serious?
Yes, I know you're going to make fun of me being old.
Primo de Jeff Bergie.
No, Bill Bergie wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he was like the Hall of Very Good. He was a very good linebacker for an extended period of time.
What's going on, Bergie?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
We're doing good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for giving me an ear, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was the whole thing that's going on with the NCAA as far as
getting sports going again. Now, I came across an article on ESPN, and it says NCAA won't mandate uniform return to college sports, Mark Emmert says, meaning that they're going to start sports, but they're going to leave it up to the university president and state officials to do it. If you don't mind, I want to read a little bit off of here, if that's okay with you guys, just to give you an idea as to what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it starts off, it says the NCAA won't mandate or oversee a uniform return to college sports. NCAA President Mark Emmert said Tuesday, leaving decisions on start dates to state officials and university presidents, which makes a ton of sense to me because, you know, when you're opening up the schools for sports, obviously you're opening up the schools for everybody, not just sports, so you have to make sure that everybody is safe and not just the athletes. Then we get down over here. Give me 1 second. Okay, it says these are localized decisions. Local campuses have to decide, are we opening up and are we bringing students back to play sports? The NCAA doesn't mandate that, nor should it. The schools themselves have to make those decisions. Now it says the no, that's not what I wanted to read. Okay, it says here that they can't mandate when we go back or determine exactly when that happens. They can just give us the best advice they can provide based on scientific and medical information. Then it gets into actually football, where it says the one championship the NCAA doesn't oversee is that of college football, which determines its winner through the college football playoff. It says that the football oversight committee could play a role in helping determine a start date. It goes on to say the oversight committee will have a role in putting a date on the calendar eventually to say you can start some sort of return to play on this date, but that they may be on 3 days notice. It may be a 2-week notice. It may be more than that. It's constantly evolving environment, and forecasting around it is a fool's errand, which to me says they don't have a clue when they're going to start. They're just going to push it as far as they can and see what happens.
Right.
Bergie, that is perfectly said. What you just said there at the end, that was perfectly said. And that was my point when I was trying to say that if I would have told you March 8th that we would be where we're at and where we've been for the last 2 months, you would have said I was crazy. I would have said I was crazy.
Yeah.
And so here we sit in the middle of May talking about late August and September. We have no clue, and no one does. Nobody has a clue of what's going to happen. Because
where the biggest problems lie with this is, you know, let's say that they leave it up to the presidents and so forth to open up, and some schools decide, okay, we want to open up, we want to let student athletes and all that, and we want to try to progress with getting athletics going again. What happens to the schools that can't do it? I mean, because you have to figure California right now, they're on pretty much a lockdown. I'm assuming a lot of the schools up in the Northeast, New York, Philly, all that, you know, that area, they're pretty much not probably going to be doing a whole lot of everything. So then you run into a major scheduling conflict.
Right.
As far as who's going to play who, when they're going to play them, how they're going to play them, who's going to make up who on what date, what are the travel restrictions going to be? I mean,
there you go. Berg, yeah, I'll throw out a hypothetical that obviously I hope doesn't happen. But let's say that we try to open it up, because obviously young people seem to do very well with this disease. Okay, so we try to open it up. And then let's say Alabama has a spike of 100 new cases at the university in a matter of days. What's going to happen? They're going to close down the university.
Yeah. Yep.
So now Alabama's not going to be able to play whoever they play that week. I mean, those are the things that... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, that's where it just gets really messy. And this is, I mean, I understand it. I understand that everybody wants to try to get, excuse me. I understand that everybody wants to try to get things rolling again, but I don't think, you know, us as fans are really, you know, taking the full context of what it's really going to take to get things rolling again. I mean, we as fans assume it's just this simple, just put this here, and everything rolls. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more factors at play here.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I wanted to throw out there for you guys. And then there was something else I wanted to get into real quick. But if you guys want to expand a little bit on what we just talked about, you know, I'd love to hear more on what you have to say about that.
Yep. I know that was a great, awesome phone calls that we get.
Where's that that article on?
ESPN.com, he said.
ESPN.
Okay.
It was on the main page, and like I said, the heading was.
And that was today?
Excuse me. Yeah, that was today.
Okay.
And the heading says, NCAA won't mandate uniform return to college sports, Mark Emmert says.
Okay.
Not a big fan of Mark Emmert, but, he's in charge.
I know.
You got to go by what he says.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to check the article out when we get off.
Another great phone call. Thank you so much, Bergie.
No, he's not done yet. He's not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. But no, did he want us to talk about that now, or does he want to make another point first?
Yeah, just one other quick thing. It's about with and this pertains to sports too, is that DeSantis says that he's going to be opening up the state for professional sports to start having practices and things. And I don't know if you read about this, meaning that now, are we about to inherit every sports team in America to come down here to start practicing and, do the things that they're talking about as far as the state opening up? Because A, this is either going to work and the guy's ahead of the curve and he really knows what's going on, or B, this blows up in his face and a lot more people start getting infected, and there's no chance in hell of this guy ever getting reelected as governor.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Bergie. At first, I wasn't pleased with some of the things that he was saying when the peak was approaching, and I felt like he was being very ambitious in terms of when he wanted things to open up, and he was being very, how can I say this?
Rush to judgment, it felt like.
Yeah, rush to judgment, man. Like I said, I mean, the tri-county states haven't opened up like the rest of Florida has, and I think today was the most cases we've had in Florida since the 1st of March. So I mean,
they're talking about Monday that they're going to start opening more stuff.
Yeah,
restaurants and things of that nature.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The 18th, man. So I mean, obviously, those restaurants and those places are going to have their own way of doing things, and you got some places that are not even going to open up, like Duffy's. Duffy's closed every single location, and they don't plan on opening up anytime in the near future until all this is said and done. So I'm sure there's going to be other, restaurant chains that might follow suit. But 100%, I think it's difficult to say. I mean, like you said, it could go one or two ways. I mean, it could be something along the lines of maybe, we start to see a little bit of herd immunity and things start to get better, or this could completely blow up in his face and we all of a sudden become one of the hotspots and in the country. So I mean,
the thing is, at the end, the what he's going to be judged on, and listen, you have to give credit where credit is due. When they did the initial projections back in March from the University of Washington, the state that they had being number one in deaths wasn't New York, it was Florida. They thought Florida was going to be number one in deaths because of the elderly population that you have in Florida. Right. The average age in Florida is much higher because so many people retire down there. Mm-hmm. And they actually had Florida being number one. And as of right now, Florida is doing great. I mean, they're like 40th in death.
Right.
So they've done well, but you're right, Bergie, that could change tomorrow.
Right.
You know, that's the thing that's why I say, Bergie, that as we sit here in the middle of May, there is no one, not you can go all the way to President Trump. There is no one in this entire country that has any idea where we're going to be at the end of August. Nobody.
100%.
And not just that, man, but it's getting hotter. Obviously these viruses have a more difficult time in the heat and in hotter weather. So I mean, they've been talking about a wave coming in the fall. So we don't know if a decline. Just imagine if maybe the decline and things doing so good is because it's been so hot in Florida for so long. So then what's going to happen when we start getting into fall? I mean, obviously we're not going to get anywhere near temperatures like the north and whatnot, but the temperatures are going to drop
a little bit, right?
Drop a little bit. And I mean, what happens to a second wave?
Here's the thing, and this goes to Tony's point.
A second wave that maybe hits in the fall. Then you're really not going to see sports for a long time.
This is legitimately what Tony's point is. The fact that we have stayed in for this long, I think is already going to have an impact on people's immune systems. Now, if we lock down even longer, which might be necessary because of the imminent threat with COVID, you might have in a situation where now the flu season is going to be a whole lot worse because people's immunity systems are down. Yeah. And then you're going to have other things. You're going to have, an increase in the different viruses and different things that because people are going to be more susceptible to them. So,
go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. No, that's the thing, Bergie, is that we really have no idea what that end of August even looks like for now.
Yeah, well, that kind of goes with what Junior was just talking about, is that we have no idea, what's going to happen come the fall season when the weather lightens up. Because, okay, let's say we do all this with the sports and everything, and we try to get seasons back underway, NFL, NBA, NCAA football, and everything starts pushing into the cooler months. If by chance, we start packing stadiums and all this stuff, and we don't have a cure yet. And and even things like music concerts and stuff like that, and just things in general where you got a lot of people, you're asking for a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, and Bergie, all it takes is a couple of schools. All you need, if it's talking about college and then talking about the pros, all you need is a couple of teams. Is what happens if you open it back?
That once the NBA saw that a Utah Jazz player was tested positive for coronavirus, and then it was that's it. I mean, it was over. It went from, the game is canceled to, no, the season is postponed.
Right.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be, 10 kids, get infected with the virus in one school or on one team. No, just one, man. Just one. And that's the thing. So think about the odds of this thing getting up and going again, and none of these schools and none of these games with no cases.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to believe, So I'm not very optimistic on it either, Bergie. I'll be honest.
I just hope that these, the so-called experts and everybody that's running all this gets it right, because if they don't get it right, let's keep in mind that statistics look nice on paper and they work in sports, but the statistics we're talking about are people's lives.
People's lives.
Yep. 100%. Yep. Bergie, you're 100% correct. And the thing is, Bergie, and it's not only their lives, you're looking at the lives of their families, because a lot of young people are asymptomatic. Okay. What happens if that college kid goes home and gives grandma a kiss on the cheek, and 3 weeks later grandma's dead?
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And I know people, I don't want to sound like overly dramatic, but I believe and this is, so please, you can fact check me, Junior, on this. The cause of death, the rate of death of people over the age of 65 is really high with COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really high. And if people have underlying conditions, and underlying conditions are not serious conditions, it's overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes. A lot of people, they've seen also an increase in terms of like African Americans. We don't know how that interacts with the sickle cell trait. It might have a higher death rate on African Americans than it does on Caucasian because of that trait. There is a lot of things that we don't know about COVID yet. And that's fact that you can get people,
we don't know, because we're still so early in it, we don't have any idea as to where this is really going to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, mind you, at the same time, Bergie, I do understand that I don't think we'll see fans in the stands until a vaccine, frankly, or unless something happens strange. Listen, there's been other viruses that have died out. God willing, this does, because this is a virus on steroids. It's like 3 times more contagious than the flu. It's obviously probably, even though the death rate might be under 1% in reality, because there's so many people that are infected that don't know it. But at the same time, the death rate for the flu is 0.1%. The death rate for this seems to be about 7 times higher, even optimistically.
Yeah.
So that's something serious. I mean, that's something that we can't just let it go. But then you see a country like Sweden.
It depends. It depends though, because
but here's the thing: Sweden is a colder climate, so you would think that they would be doing really poorly. But what they did was basically everybody who's young and healthy, live your life. Everybody who has an underlying condition, is older, is something else is going on, you guys quarantine yourselves.
Right.
And they're actually not doing pretty bad. They're doing pretty good. So and I get it, Bergie. The thing is, you wonder, there's also the flip side of that is staying locked up indefinitely, waiting on a vaccine that may, because you have to remember, Ebola still doesn't have a vaccine. And while Ebola wasn't a big problem in the United States, it was a big problem in Africa. So they were still working on a vaccine, and they still don't have one.
True, but Ebola in no way, shape, or form, tackled the entire planet the way that.
Oh, no! I'm not comparing the diseases, Bergie. I'm just comparing the lack of a vaccine, that they're working on it, and they still haven't come up with one. So we don't have a guarantee that they're. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
To make it, come across that way.
No. That's the thing is, so we don't even know, is it going to be here in 12 months? Come spring of next year, we're going to have a vaccine already or not. Now, mind you, my thing is, I'd like to see them, and obviously they're doing it. I know they're doing it, is try to come up with some treatment. Try to come up with a treatment that at least controls it, because that's something that I think we can get to market faster than a vaccine.
Well, they had the one thing, I don't remember the exact name that it was called, but they had something that they were talking about that they were bringing to the market that they had an emergency release on, but apparently that has all kinds of weird side effects to it, so they're not really sure what that is.
Right. Yeah, so far the things that I've heard that they say have been effective is remdesivir and the hydroxychloroquine with Z-Pak and zinc. Those are the two treatments that they have, and they seem to be having some benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, guys, look, I don't want to take up the whole show.
No.
And obviously, I want to keep talking about sports, but I appreciate you guys giving me, the time to call in and whatnot. I really do appreciate talking to you guys. So let's go ahead and get back to Hurricane Sports. Let some other people call in, man, and you guys have yourselves a really good night.
Thank you so much,
Bergie. Thank you so much. Another great phone call, man. I'll tell you what, when we do call-in shows, man, the guys knock it out of the park. We have some great phone calls.
You got Mrs. Roberts in the chat. I saw you.
And Mrs. Roberts with a donation too.
Thank you so much.
You want to get the Taz's first?
Yeah, let's get the Taz, man. He says, with hurricane season coming up, do you think the storms can wipe out the virus or
spread it? I would think, Taz, because of like hurricane shelters, that it would spread it. Because you'd have a lot of people in close proximity of each other.
Then you're going to be getting into a real. And I was talking about that today.
Listen, the reason that I think it's something like, I want to say like 15% or 17% of the total deaths are nursing homes.
Yeah.
And that's because you have people in a confined area. And I think a storm like a hurricane would bring, because you have to have hurricane shelters.
Yeah.
And that could end up being a horrible in terms of spreading the disease on top of having whatever issue. Hopefully we won't have the hurricanes.
I just hope that preparations are already being made for that scenario.
Absolutely. Where they open up.
I hope that's not one of those things where it's like, oh crap, a hurricane's coming. Now let's start setting up.
Let's figure something out. Yeah.
Let's figure something out. So how we're gonna,
exactly
implement these shelters and how we're gonna keep people still at a distance, at a safe enough distance where we're not gonna have an outbreak inside of a shelter. I just hope those, and I'm sure they are. Hopefully, God willing.
Yeah, I mean, there's people.
Those plans are being set into place.
Emergency managers, they end up, they do stuff like this all the time. They prepare for the worst case scenario with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Shauna with the $5 donation. Shauna, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you and your family is doing well and everybody's staying safe.
Thank you, Shonda. You always supporting us. Thank you so much.
And shout out to no one other than Elijah. Tell Elijah that Junior the Big Dog said what's up.
I've seen him. He's looking good. He's hitting those weights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take advantage of this time.
Bergie, man, with a $10 donation. Thanks, guys. That was fun. Appreciate what you guys do. Nah, thank you, man. Thank you for the great phone call, Anthony. I know you're trying to call in, man. We'll go ahead and take Anthony's call, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. Go ahead,
Anthony. Go ahead and call in.
There we go.
I do want to talk about a couple of people were asking about Bubba Chandler. He's definitely dual threat. The young man is one heck of an athlete. So he's definitely a dual threat quarterback. But if you watch his tape, listen, he's very accurate. I mean, I think he completed 64% of his passes. I want to say.
All right, hold on.
Fact check me on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah. What's going on, Anthony?
Hi, Big Ed. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
What do you say, Anthony?
How about yourself, buddy?
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
This is for you, Big Dog specifically, since you've been a Hurricanes fan and a Dolphins fan for a while now. When is the realistic prediction for them to be winning Super Bowls and national championships at the same time?
Wow. Wow, good question. Good question, Anthony. Oh, wow.
That's easy for me.
I'd say that the road is a lot quicker for the Hurricanes than it is for the Dolphins.
You've always said that, Big though.
Well, it's in my lifetimes the Hurricanes have won five world national championships and competed for 5 others, and the Dolphins won 2 Super Bowls, and I was 7 and 8 when the Dolphins won those 2 Super Bowls. Yeah. So I have reason to say that. But I do think it's easier in college to develop a team into a championship because a couple of good recruiting classes back to back, which we have had, and the right coach in place, and I think that makes you a championship contender. With the Dolphins, we're building from scratch. You could see what happened with the Browns, for example, when they tore it down. It's not always a quick trip back. I'd say the Dolphins, realistically, if everything goes well, 2023, 2024, somewhere around there. For the Hurricanes, man, I think they could do it sooner than that. So I would say with the Hurricanes, even a couple of years with a couple of good recruiting classes and some good results, and I think we're there. We're competing for a championship.
And actually, I was watching MLB Network, and I was watching MLB Tonight, and they were interviewing Rob Brent Manfred, the commissioner, and they were actually saying that they might start the season, have a shortened season, 100 games start in July.
Right.
June or July.
Right. I heard that he was shooting for July 4th, and what I had heard is that they were talking about an 82-game season or an 80-game season. But yeah, I did hear that also.
How, in your opinion, how would that affect the World Series? Like, if it's only a 82-game season?
I mean, we've done it. We've done it before, Anthony. In '81, we had a strike, and the season was stopped. And then what they did was they had a first of the first half champion. I think they only played, I want to say, 104 games or 100 somewhere around there. So they had the first half division champion and the second half division champion. And then they had a playoff like that. So I think baseball could do it. They would probably expand the playoffs a little bit. And they would do it like they did 1981.
And don't forget, back then, they didn't have TV contracts like they do now. So,
well, no, they did. They did back then. And baseball really hasn't changed that much. Baseball's, even back then, they had regional networks, and then they had the national TV contract. So they had the same thing back then. Because you got to remember, 81, Anthony, cable had already exploded. So you had WGN, which carried Chicago Cubs games, WR, which carried the Mets. That I was a Mets fan back then. And they had I'm sorry?
You weren't a Yankees fan then?
No, I wasn't. I was a Mets fan. I was born in Queens. And since we didn't have the Marlins, I became a Marlins fan as soon as we got them in '93. But I was a Mets fan basically my whole life until we got the Marlins.
And honestly, I like the Isaiah Walker pickup, but with Talia, Tua's brother, hey, we don't have a season, and Eric decides to go into supplemental draft. Does Nkosi become the starter, or does Tyler Van Dyke? How does a redshirt get affected with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we also got a couple of donations from George, which we'll talk about here in a second. George, thank you so much, George. We haven't forgotten. The thing is, Anthony, what I think is going to occur is now I do think if once De'Eric is gone, I don't think it'll be handed to Nkosi. I think it'll be a competition between Nkosi, Tyler, and Peyton Matocha. Do I think now talking about Tua's brother, and I'm glad you brought that up, Anthony. I've watched a lot of tape on Talio, excuse me, and I know I'm screwing up his name, but it's spelled Taulia. He's not his brother. Let's put it that way. He's nowhere near his brother. Now,
he is his brother.
What's that?
No, I'm saying that. I've watched him tape too. He's
Okay.
not his brother. His brother was more accurate.
Oh yeah. That's the only thing that they have in common as quarterbacks is size and their last name. Because Tua was at a whole different level than his brother is. Now, that's not to say his brother doesn't have potential. His brother does have potential. I see him. If we were to get him, which I don't think we will, I think we have one more spot that's available, and I think we might go after Williams, the offensive lineman transfer. I don't think we'll go after. Frankly, he's a borderline Power 5 take right now.
I'll be honest. I think we have enough competition at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's just say De'Eric King, because yes, people are talking about Perry, are talking about Van Dyke, man, but don't sleep on Matocha.
Yeah.
You know, Matocha's another one, man. I think that battle, personally, in my opinion, who I think will probably win the starting job, and who I just think has a higher ceiling, I think is the best thing I could say would be Tyler Van Dyke. That's just my personal opinion. I've always been big on TVD ever since we got him to commit. So
you were big on him even before he committed.
Even before he committed, man, yeah. I wanted.
I was big on him too. I mean, there's a lot to like there. There's a lot to like on Tyler Van Dyke.
Yeah.
But what scares me with Tyler, I don't think he's athletic enough to run. He's a pocket passer. I don't.
Right. Now I do think, but you have to remember at SMU, Brett Lashley had a very similar quarterback, not with TVD's talent, but he had a similar like TVD can run when he has to, but you're right. He likes to be in the pocket. He likes to throw from the pocket. Now, I will say this. A lot of times people are downgrading Matocha because he was a 3-star. The only reason he was a 3-star is what happened with Hurricane Harvey in Houston. But it affected Matocha's family. Matocha wasn't able to go to these camps, wasn't able to get looked at. If you look at Matocha's tape, he was every bit of a 4-star. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
So
and you don't need to be a running quarterback to run the spread.
Correct. Now I will say, Anthony, to your point, I do think you need to run well enough, and I think TVD runs well enough.
Yeah, but TVD is not like Brad Kaya.
Right. Exactly. That's the point, and I think that's Anthony's point. You can't have a mobile guy running the spread.
No,
but you can have a guy like TVD who can run if he has to, and if it's there, TVD can do that.
Honestly, when I look at TVD, I'm not saying he's going to be. He in a sense, he looks. He reminds me a little bit of Eli Manning coming out of college. because Eli's not a mobile quarterback. He relies on to scramble in the pocket, but he's not a mobile running
right.
Pat Mahomes or
No. He's not. If I had to put now the thing is, I won't compare him to Eli because I do think he has a much stronger arm than Eli. TVD has a cannon. If I had to compare him as a comparable in terms of size, because remember, TVD is all of 6'4". He's a real 6'4".
Isn't Eli 6'4" too?
Eli, I think Eli. He might be 6'3" because I think his brother was 6'5". I think Payne was 6'5". So I think Eli was 6'3". But TVD has a much stronger arm than Eli had coming out of college. But mobility wise, when he was coming out of college,
Eli's 6'5".
He is 6'5".
Yeah.
He's not a real 6'5" though, because Payne is a real 6'5". And if you see Payne next to Eli, Payne's taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at best he's 6'4". But but regardless, I do think TVD can run the spread. Now remember, you're gonna have Nkosi going to be that much older, and you have Matocha. Matocha is, I mean, the typical quarterback you would want at a spread is more along the Matocha and Nkosi.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Okay, that they're throwers, but they can run.
Right.
Tyler is more of a thrower who can run if he has to.
Yeah.
Where Matocha and Nkosi are better athletes.
I know he doesn't. I'm not comparing his arm strength to Eli. I'm saying
right.
The way he plays. He's a thrower that likes to run. He's not a runner that likes to throw.
Correct.
I'm saying.
Correct. No, you're 100% right, Anthony.
The spread is good for Tate too.
Yeah, it is. It is. But the problem is Tate is really challenged as a thrower.
No, I know.
I mean, he is really. That's not.
With Tate, since we have Tate on the roster, do you think they're going to end up moving him to like running back or receiver or something like that? Or
I think they have promised him to use him as a. Oh, they said you go where it says that Payne's listed at 6'6". I mean, yeah, I was going to say because Payne definitely is taller than Eli. But the thing is with Tate, I think what they have promised Tate is to use him in the slot and then give him an opportunity to compete for the quarterback position.
When I look at it, Tate is not a running back, not a quarterback, because we need to. Manny needs to start preparing these players for what the scouts are going to look at.
Right.
At them in the next level, because there's scouts in the NFL that think Tate Martell is not a quarterback at all.
Right.
NFL, he's a running back.
Right. Well, and I think that the idea for Tate is at the next level he could play slot receiver,
but he needs to start playing some slot receiver.
And the thing is, that short area quickness that Tate has, which he has elite short area quickness. His short area quickness is off the charts. I mean, he ran. We talked about this in a short shuttle. He did a 3.96 in the short shuttle, which is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, that is tremendous short area. That is a elite wide receiver short area quickness.
Yeah.
But long speed, Tate's probably a 4.7 guy. Okay. To play in the NFL in the slot, you need to have the quickness, but you need to be faster than 4.7. So you have to have a little bit of both.
That's his fault. Honestly, I don't think that's Tate's fault because, in a sense, I think slot receivers are short, like 5'10", 5'11", are starting to be phased out in the NFL because I notice now most of the slot receivers are 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", and then the outside receivers are going to be like maybe
the 6'3", 6'4" guys.
5'6".
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing that too. But usually, the thing is, though, Anthony, usually the slot receivers in the NFL that are 6 feet, they still have that short area quickness. So, I mean, and you still have some shorter ones too that play the slot. I don't see Tate. I see Tate having the athleticism. I don't see Tate having the long speed that he's going to need to play that in the.
I just don't
in the NFL.
I just don't. At this point in time, I don't see Tate getting a look.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think he would be successful in the Arena Football League.
There you go.
The Arena Football League.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think he would be great in that. I think he would be great. And listen, if the XFL comes back next year and stays around, you never know. Maybe he could land in the XFL and play some specialized position.
Well, actually, I read somewhere where the board of directors of the XFL are suing Vince McMahon. They keep suing Vince McMahon because he sold a whole bunch of stock.
Oh wow!
Why do these leagues that try to compete with the NFL always end up?
They need to be smart and stay in their lane. They need to stay in their lane.
Yeah.
They can set up a developmental contract with the NFL. The NFL's was already talking about that with the other league that failed, the AAF. Yeah. The NFL had talked about that maybe sending them their third quarterbacks to get playing time, that they were going to probably do that in the future. Now the league ended up folding, and that was a circus. That was the funniest thing ever. The guy who the guy who apparently bought the league never gave the $250 million he was supposed to because he didn't have it. But that was hilarious.
Do you think you remember the USFL, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that could be successful today as a developmental league and stuff like that?
Well, the USFL's mistake was, and that was also partly because of Donald Trump, they didn't stay in their lane. They didn't want to. Their ultimate goal was to become what the AFL was in the 60s. Because if they would have stayed in the spring, but they went crazy and they started competing for Heisman Trophy winners and big ticket guys like Steve Young and Jim Kelly and Herschel Walker and Doug Flutie. And they started, they didn't stay in their lane. They wanted to compete with the NFL. And then they put all their eggs in the basket of the antitrust suit against the NFL. And even though they won the antitrust suit, the jury awarded them $1. And that was the end of the league. What's that?
$1 or
$1, Anthony. They gave him one. The jury found in favor of the USFL that the NFL was a monopoly, but they ended up giving him $1 in damages, and that was the end of the USFL.
They should have gotten more if the courts agreed that it was an
correct. Yeah, but they sort of said, well, these guys in the USFL are rich, so they don't need the money. And that was that I don't understand.
Hey, Anthony, we gotta go ahead and let you go, man. You wanna leave us with a question before you get off?
Actually, what is it? Do you honestly think if they waive Isaiah Walker's waiver, like if they approve his waiver and he gets to play, do you think they redshirt Jalen Rivers, or they play them both at the same time?
I think there's probably a good opportunity that if Isaiah Walker gets the waiver, that they play both.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At the same time, yeah. They would probably have Walker.
You're thinking.
Go ahead.
So you're saying Jalen Rivers is going to be a true freshman playing on the offensive line?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. Jalen Rivers' ceiling is higher than Zion Nelson's and John Campbell's and Kayleon Herbert and the other left tackles that we have. Jalen Rivers and Isaiah Walker both have a ceiling that no other tackle on the team can touch.
I agree with that 100%.
They're all, honestly, when I look at them, their future, I'm not putting this much pressure. They're maybe future All-Americans and maybe future All-Pros in the NFL.
Those guys are both, if they are developed properly, those guys are first-round type of talents.
Yeah, and they're way better than Alex Leatherwood. To be honestly, when I look at Alex Leatherwood, I'm kind of happy he went to Alabama. Because honestly, when I look at these two guys, they're better athletes overall than.
I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree. I absolutely agree. And let me tell you, I know people are excited about Walker, people are sleeping on Jalen Rivers. Jalen Rivers is legit, and he's a young man who one of these, you have to remember, guys, that's a reality of it, that tackle, having those smarts of being able to read what you're going to do beforehand. Jalen Rivers, that kid is like, I think his GPA in high school was like 4.6 something because he took AP classes and honors classes. That kid is a absolute stud. Oh, I love him. God, I love him. That young man, you talk about a center, that young man will be a 3-year starter at Miami. 100% he will be a 3-year.
With me, I hope we got two brothers from Texas. I forgot the Vandergrift.
Oh, yeah.
Texas. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The tight end you're talking about, right?
No. I'm talking about the two offensive, the center and the tackle from Texas.
Oh, okay, I got you. But you're not. That's not a 2020. It's on 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
Okay. No, that's why I was trying to figure out what you're talking. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Oh, so do you think with Isaiah and Jalen, do you think that means we move the guy who we redshirted, Adam Al-Gamal, into guard or center?
No, I think he sticks as a tackle. He's developmental. But he's a tackle. I mean, I don't know where they have him listed. I think at one time they had him listed as 6'7", and then I saw somewhere they had him listed as 6'5". But when you look at that guy's tape, Anthony, he's a pure tackle. Now he's a developmental tackle, but he's a tackle.
How about the other guy, Chris Washington?
He's developmental.
He's developmental also, and he's also a tackle.
Yeah.
Our problem is we had.
You don't think they can move him into? You don't think they would move him into guard to have him have playing time and stuff like that?
Oh, well, I mean, late in games type of thing, maybe, since they do have that, you could play 4 games. But the thing is, as of right now, what we didn't have was enough pure tackles. Right. And now I do think it's a lot easier kicking a tackle inside than it is vice versa, as Devon Donaldson proved. You know, kicking a tackle to guard is a lot easier of a shift than kicking. Now, it takes a different skill set, okay? Because at guard, you want a different type of agility side to side. And because remember, guards are going to pull a lot. So you're going to want a road grader. You're going to want a guy who's very good at run blocking at guard. Now, it's easier to move a tackle into guard than it is the other way around. So I agree with the
Zion. If we decide to play both Isaiah and
he'd have to compete. He has to compete against them. Now, I'm not saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If we, why not move Zion and the other guy into guard?
I think they already have John Campbell. I think they have him basically as a guard now.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, we have DJ Scaife's true position is guard.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Scaife in the NFL is not going to play tackle. He's going to play guard. Okay, so you have DJ Scaife's.
How about what happens with Zion if they decide to play?
He has to compete.
And
you got to remember, it's a different. You want a 2 deep all across the offensive line. Is what that's ideally what you want. What you don't want is guys switching positions all the time, like has been our case in the past. That doesn't work. So you let's say, for instance, just to give them the benefit of the doubt, let's say Zion wins the job at left tackle, and let's say Isaiah is his backup. Could end up being the other way around. But let's say for sake of argument, Isaiah's still going to see a lot of playing time, but that way he gets playing time only at left tackle. And let's say on the right side, you see Jalen Rivers starting, and let's say Kalian Herbert's backing him up. Ideally, you want Herbert to get some playing time too. So you want a legitimate 2 deep across the line. And I think now we're getting there. Now we're getting. Yeah, I do think John Campbell, JD. I think they've
decided already.
Yeah, they decided already. You remember he didn't cut the mustard at tackle, but he actually played pretty well at guard.
Yeah, I thought he did really good.
Yeah, you have to remember.
Man, we're gonna go ahead and let you go, man. But we appreciate
thank you. Another great
questions, buddy.
Oh, good night, Cohen. Cohen was saying good night. Good night, buddy. It's all about the you.
All right, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, Williams would be awesome, JD. If we could get Williams, for you guys to know, Williams would be the graduate transfer. Oh, George, I'm sorry, George, with several donations, George. Thank you. Let me go back and get them.
I already got them.
You got all three?
Yeah, I put them on here.
Okay.
Thank you, George.
What was the first one?
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George, for the donations.
And thank you, Anthony, for that call, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
By the way, I didn't change anything. And now the same screen is telling me how many people are watching, because now it says 62 watching now. I think it was up to the 80s before.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually legitimately how many people are watching now.
62 right now, yeah.
Right. So that's actually showing. For some reason or other, it wasn't showing me that before.
I don't know.
So even though I'm techie literate, it wasn't all my fault, is what I'm saying.
No, I don't think anybody said it was your fault, man.
No, I was saying it. It was my fault.
Hey, man, but let's go ahead and jump out of here, man.
Thomas, I agree. In an ideal world, Thomas, I'd like to see Rivers and Walker redshirt
this year. Oh no, yeah.
I agree with you, man. In an ideal situation, both offensive linemen, even the studs, offensive linemen, you don't want them. First off, you see very few juniors declare for the draft in the offensive line. Yeah. Usually they're at the very least seniors, if not redshirt seniors. So I agree with you there. In a perfect world, Rivers and Walker were both redshirt.
Yeah.
We're not in a perfect world with our O-line.
Yeah. Hey, HJS, man. God bless. Thank you so much for joining us, man. For everybody else joining us. J Love T, we'll go ahead and get you in next week on the
will, J Love.
We'll next one, my brother. For everybody that called, man, and Gallo Negro, Anthony, and Bergie. And Bergie, man. Thank you so much, man. Everybody that donated to the channel tonight, man. We appreciate all of your donations, man.
And all three of them hit it out of the park.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
All three calls were great.
That's why they were all very long calls.
Yep, they were.
I'm not very good at putting time limit on calls, man.
No.
Because you guys provide great insight and great conversation, man. Anytime you guys call in, man. So thank you so much for joining us, man. If you guys haven't already, man, please hit that like button on your way out. If you're rewatching, you're part of the hashtag rewatch squad. Hit that like button, man. Share it to your friends, your buddies. Tell them to subscribe to the best father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports, Junior and the Big Dog, man. Hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime me and the Big Dog go live. Cherish your hairline. You got 10 more years to enjoy it.
Hey, listen, if it's baldness,
baby,
if it's hereditary,
a little bit there.
The Big Dog still has. I have his hairline. He has my hairline.
Yeah, but you got some entradas on you though.
Oh, I do, but I still got plenty of hair.
You guys can't see how much white hair I got, but I got a lot of white hair. But yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. George, call in. Anybody who wants to call in, man. We'll do another call-in show next time. There's not much going on right now, so the insight that you guys provide, man, is great. And yeah, so you already know, man. For those of you that are watching us on Facebook, or for those of you that saw us on Facebook, man, hit that like button as well. Share it to your friends. Like the page. Just spread it around and spread the word out, man. Junior and the Big Dog. Be on the lookout for the De'Aaron King breakdown video. It will be out this weekend, most likely. The research is done. The clips are made. So all me and the Big Dog got to do is set up a time to go ahead and record that video for you guys. It's not going to be a long video, man. Just probably like a 10, 15-minute video of me and the Big Dog just breaking down De'Aaron King, going over some.
De'Aaron will probably go 20 minutes, but yeah. It's usually those are short.
Yeah. Breaking down his clips, breaking down, a little bit of his background, his measurables, and what we can expect if we indeed have a season, and if indeed De'Aaron King suits up for the Miami Hurricanes as the quarterback going into the year, man. So be on the lookout for that. And as well as the following week, this week coming up, we're gonna continue doing our breakdown videos. Probably with Quincy Roche will be the next one, and then we'll start doing other guys like Jalen Harrell, Isaac Dunson, man. Keyshawn Smith is another one we haven't done, man. So be on the lookout for that. Jalen Harrell, like I said, Isaiah Walker, we did cover in our prospect video for the Category 20 recruiting class. So look for that one in our playlist. If you guys haven't seen it already, go look at it.
Guys, I want to tell you this. The 2 tackles that we love when we broke down recruits for the 2020 class, we got them both.
Absolutely.
That's saying something.
Hey, once again, man, we love you guys too, man. Thank you so much, Gallo Negro, man. Thank you so much for supporting the Big Dog family. We love you guys, man. To the next one.
And guys, the donations and everything, we know how times are tough right now for a lot of people, and you guys are just amazing. Thank you so much for your donations. Absolutely. And George, I know George was right at the end. Thank you, George. For those of you that don't know, George is very he doesn't like vaccines, but I think that was the message he was sending. But you guys are the greatest. The support that we get from you guys is beyond belief. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, and you guys have a good night. As always,
it's all about this you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.